Hello, friends. My name is Dr. Alexey Ivanovich, and for more than 30 years I have been working with people over the age of 70. I have seen thousands of stories, from those who run marathons at 80 to those who fade away at 75 from loneliness. Today I want to talk to you honestly, without unnecessary drama or moralizing. The topic is this: who you should live with after 70 in order not just to survive, but to live a full life. Not out of fear of being alone, not because that's how it's done in the family or in society, but for the sake of your body and your mind. After 70, our bodies become more vulnerable. Metabolism slows down, the immune system weakens, and chronic illnesses accumulate. But do you know what often determines how long you will live, and in what condition? Not only medications or diet, but the people around you. Some extend life, filling it with meaning and support. Others quietly shorten it, adding stress and isolation. I rely on my own experience and on research showing that social connections can slow biological aging by years. Let's figure out who is who. Why is your environment so important after 70? Imagine your body as an old house. After 70, the foundation weakens and the roof starts to leak. But if there are reliable builders nearby, friends, family, a partner, they help repair and strengthen it. If there are destroyers instead, toxic people or emptiness, the house collapses much faster. Science confirms this. Strong social connections reduce the risk of premature death by 50% or more. In studies such as the Health and Retirement Study, people with close relationships age more slowly at the cellular level. Their DNA is younger by 1 to 2 years compared to isolated peers. Why does this happen? Because good relationships increase levels of oxytocin, the hormone of trust, which fights inflammation, stress, and even cancer. Living with relatives often improves well-being. You feel integrated into society, happier and healthier. But the key is not the number of people, it is the quality. One true friend can give more than a noisy but conflict-ridden family. Social isolation, on the contrary, accelerates aging, increases the risk of dementia by 10% for every 2 years of loneliness, and raises mortality by up to 57% over 5 years in people with weak social ties. I have seen this in my office many times. Maria, a 72-year-old patient, lived alone after her husband's death. She declined quickly. Her blood pressure fluctuated, her memory failed. But when she moved in with her daughter, who supported her without controlling her, everything changed. Her test results improved, and she even started walking in the park. And then there was Ivan, 75, who lived with his son, who constantly argued over trivial things. The stress led to a heart attack. Your environment is not just decoration, it is a factor of survival. First, a supportive partner or spouse. Not just for appearances, but someone with whom you truly share joys and burdens. Studies show that people in stable, especially close marriages, have a more diverse gut microbiome, which lowers the risk of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Men in such unions are less likely to be socially isolated, and women receive stronger emotional support. Even sexual activity within a couple reduces 5-year mortality to about 4% among otherwise healthy older adults. Second, children and grandchildren, if the relationships are warm. Living with family increases social integration and happiness. They motivate you to stay active, walks with grandchildren, helping around the house. In the blue zones of longevity, such as Okinawa or Sardinia, family is the foundation of long life, but only when there is no pressure. When children respect your autonomy and help without imposing, they act as a buffer against loneliness and depression. Third, friends and community. Frequent social interaction prolongs life. The more often you connect with others, the higher your chances of living longer. Volunteering, as shown in the Baltimore Experience Corps trial, improves memory, mobility, and strength in older adults. Religious communities reduce mortality by up to 30% if you attend services regularly. There, it's not only about faith, but about people who provide a sense of belonging. A practical example. My patient Sergey, 78, became withdrawn after retirement. He joined a seniors club where he found friends for chess and walking. His blood pressure stabilized, and his depression resolved. Social ties stimulate the brain, reduce inflammation, and even help with medical care. Friends remind you to take your medications or drive you to the doctor. Another aspect is neighbors and the local community. Close proximity to trusted people reduces depression after trauma, and public spaces such as libraries lower the risk of suicide. If you live in a neighborhood with strong social connections, it's like having an extra layer of immunity. In short, choose people who give you support, laughter, and meaning. They slow your aging, keep your mind clear, and your body active.
Now about the silent killers.
First, a toxic partner or relative. Demanding, critical people create chronic stress, equivalent to loneliness. Research shows that such relationships lead to the same level of loneliness as being single and increased depression. Stress from constant conflict accelerates inflammation and leads to hypertension and heart attacks. If a spouse controls your every move, that can be worse than living alone. Second, loneliness. Living in isolation is a risk for everyone, but especially for men, the unmarried, and those with low income. It increases the risk of dementia, poor nutrition, fewer fruits and vegetables, and mortality. Without stimulation, the brain declines and the immune system weakens.